because you're going to be in front of several employers like all the Marriott, 3 or 4 different security companies, Kmart, Target, all kinds of different places, all kinds in schools and institutions. Love them and be obedient. Some people don't get jobs because they mistreat their parents and they're disobedient. You have to understand all this works together. The Bible says honor your mother and your father, and when you do that, God will bless you. So always remember, treat your children right, honor your mother and father, and doors will be open for you. If you don't do that, sometimes doors will be closed and you wonder why. Okay, Mary is going to come at this time and go over some what we call tips for success before, during, and after while she's coming. Cell phones. Make sure your cell phone is off at a job interview. You don't want to be in the midst of a job and your cell phone rings. The other thing is, on the application when it tells you about your what number, if you give them your cell number, make sure you take off your cell phone that, what y'all call that thing, ringtone, whatever, boom, 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 boom. You gotta listen for a minute, they'll just hang up. Employers will not call you back. You need a professional ringtone, like a voice, whatever you call it. This is John Williams, I'm not available at the moment. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, I'll call you back. But if they have to hear all that other stuff, they just hang up. Same thing about email. If you don't have a professional email, a lot of them won't even respond to you. Like if you got big butt, big booty, so-and-so, so-and-so, big lion, the cat, get rid of it, get another one. Remember, you got to sell yourself. Say, sell yourself. And you got to do it from every little thing, from the cell phone to the email, even your smile. We'll talk about that later. Give Mary a hand as she comes. She's my executive assistant. She works very hard.
I said earlier today, I was out of work for a couple of years before the mayor graciously hired me back in 2007. But before I go into these top 10 tips for success before, during, and after a job interview, I want to reiterate something that the mayor said about email accounts. A lot of you do not have email accounts that I noticed on the intake form. And I just want to say that today, that is a very important part of the job search. So if you do not have an email account, you've got to get one. And you can get them for free. You don't need to even have a computer to have an email account. You can use computers for free in any city or county library system, including in Riviera Beach. We have, I think, 10 or 12 computers set up at City Hall in the municipal library for anybody's use at any time between 9:30 and 5, Monday through Saturday. You can get email accounts from Gmail. Just go to, if you can remember this, if you don't have a pen, www.gmail.com or www.yahoo.com and sign up to get a free email account. Because you'll find that a lot of employers, even the ones that you're going to talk with here, are going to want to have an email address. A lot of people have rap music on their cell phone ringtones, or on their, when somebody calls, you have that, I don't know what you call that thing. Yeah, when people call and they're on hold, you can't have that music playing for people who are calling to give you a job. And, if they don't like that kind of music, it could be a problem. So the best thing to do, as the mayor said, is just to have a very professional sounding, "This is Marian Dozier. I'm not available to come to the line right now. Please leave me a message and I'll call you back as soon as I'm able." It's a small thing, but it's a really important thing. That seems really simple, right? You wouldn't think. But what the mayor always says is dress as if you're going to church. Don't do the baggy, sagging pants for men or tight-fitting shirts and short skirts for women. We're not going to the club, we're looking for a job. Show no body parts, and a lot of jewelry is a big no-no. So if you have, a lot of bracelets, a lot of rings, 4 or 5 earrings in your ears, think about taking those out. Because you don't want anything to distract from the person who's sitting across the desk from you. You don't want them to sort of get all caught up in, the jewelry that you're wearing and kind of miss what you're saying. Number 2, during the entire job search process, okay, we went over that. Cancel the music on your cell phone. It can turn off potential employers. Number 3, make eye contact and shake hands firmly. This tells potential employers you have confidence and you have nothing to hide. Look them in the eye when you're talking to them. It makes a huge difference. And a lot of women in here, I bet you understand when I say, sometimes you shake a guy's hand and he's got a really limp handshake, and he might not be looking at you. You kind of you're like, this guy's soft. Or this guy doesn't have, that strong, confident handshake, and looking somebody in the eye says that you're sure about who you are and what you're saying, and it makes you appear to be a much more confident, sure-footed person. That's really important.
Today, I just like to say I thank God for Mayor Masters, because with all the hats that he wears and with all the responsibilities that he has, he still finds time for the little people. I've met him on several occasions through different events, through his job fairs and everything, and we mainly communicate through Facebook. And he encourages me on Facebook, I encourage him, as well as encouraging many other people. And I was getting married 2 weeks ago, and I came to him because I could find nobody else to marry us. And I went to him and I called him and I asked him if he could marry us. And he agreed to do it, and he told me his fee. I didn't think that I could be able to pay it, and he told me, whatever you can come up with, just have it on that day, and just bless me with whatever you can give me. And the day of my wedding, he called me. He was in the hospital. He actually tried to leave the hospital to be able to come and do my wedding and then check himself back into the hospital. But I ended up telling him, no, it's okay. God will make a way. You just take care of yourself and, just get yourself back together. But I thank God for him, because with all the hats that he wears, he still looks out for the little people. He still looks out for the people in the community.
Marion Dozier did earlier today and come in late to work. I got here at just about 10 o'clock when I should have been here at about 9:45, if not 9:30. So that is really, really important. Thankfully, I have a boss who's very forgiving. But show up early and alone. Arrive before you said you would, and leave your friends and children at home. This goes for after you're hired as well. And some of you may be thinking, who would do that? You would be astounded at the number of people who bring their children to job interviews or to work during the day. When I was out of work for 2 years, and I had my interview at City Hall, I got dressed that morning. I made sure I smelled good, and I looked, and I did my research. And before I walked out that door, I looked in the mirror and I said, you know what, Marion Dozier, this job is for you. When you go in there today, you let those people know that this job already has your name on it. And it gave me such a boost, and it gave me such a preparation for when I walked in there. And it sounds like a simple thing, but it's really true. You have to really tell yourself that this is for you, that this job is for you. Even right before you sit down at the table, stop in the bathroom and just say, this is for me. And it works. Number 10, the last one, be willing to work and to do what it takes to get the job and keep it. Keep your attitude together. Don't be negative, because it will show. Don't get caught up in personalities on the job. Leave personal issues out. Keep your head down and do your job once you get the job. Another really important tip that I have to remember every day. So, those are Mayor Masters' top 10 tips for success before, during, and after a job interview. I think they work. I've used, I use some of those in my own effort to get a job, and I'm sure y'all have some of your own tips and own, realities that come into play when you're looking for work. But the important thing is just try to stay positive. It is a tough time economically in this country and in this state and in this county and in this city. Y'all are not alone, but you've got to, if you stay positive and keep your confidence up as best you can find a job.